Hi Rita ma'am. Hi Crystal. Hi Janvi. Hi Gauri. Hi Sarah. Hi Shama ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am,
Hello.
am
Good.
I audible?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Ma'am, we'll wait for a minute or so and then we'll start.
Sure, sure. There's no network issue at your end, right?
No, no, I think it's fine. I can see you, yeah, and hear you.
Okay, great. So, how was your day, Keyosha? Had lectures today?
Uh, it was good. It was not bad, actually. I spent some time with my family, so I think that was much needed.
Great, great.
How was yours, ma'am?
Great working day. Monday is like the busiest day always.
Yes. Okay, ma'am, so we'll start now. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to the very first session of Nutri Jockey, presented to you by the Food and Nutrition Department of Maniben Nanavati Women's College. So I'm Keyosha Anchan and we today have a very special guest with us, Miss Sukhada Bhatte. Let's get right to it. This session is going to be upon body positivity and adolescents. Our expert speaker is a registered dietitian with IDA India. She was also registered in UK and she's also certified in Australia. She is a senior manager for regulatory and nutrition with Hexagon Nutrition Private Limited. She is the treasurer of the IDA Mumbai chapter. She is the founder of Portion Nutrition and Lifestyle Solutions. With such an extensive profile, we welcome you, ma'am. Ma'am,
Thank you so
I would
much,
now
Keyosha.
request you to talk a little bit about body positivity to our audience, after which we'll have a short Q&A session too.
Great. So, at the outset, Keyosha, I would like to thank you, Dr. Rajashri Trivedi, the principal of Maliban Nanavati College, Dr. Rita Patil, and Ms. Chama Chawan for starting this initiative, because this is the right way to reach to you youngsters today through Instagram or through social media. So, thank you so much for inviting me today. Um, so, what exactly is body positivity, and why did I choose to speak on that? Okay, body positivity about accepting your body the way it is. Okay, so does that mean that you accept to live in an unhygienic condition? No, you're accepting no matter what color, what shape, what kind of hair you have, whether you have curly hair or straight hair. You accept yourself to be the way you are, You're okay with all its flaws, you're okay with all its beauty, and we don't kind of conform to the normative standards of beauty that we see, either on social media or on the television, or actors propagate. So it's very important today with so many filters. Just because before I got on the live, I was trying to see how, to go online on Instagram, and it showed me a pop-up of so many different filters where it changed this color of my skin and the texture of my hair. So there is so much that you see on the screen, which is not necessarily the ideal, the way that human being appears. You can change your shape, you can change your color, skin on a screen, but in real life that's not something that we should be expected to do. Okay, so body positivity is just accepting who you are, the way you look, what you are, and also accepting the background that you're coming from. That's something that's very important. As Indians, we tend to kind of be um, ashamed, I would like to say, of the accents that we have. Okay, so if you were to listen to an Italian accent, an Italian speak in English, you actually find that very exotic. But the same thing, if you find a Maharashtrian or a Gujarati accent, you suddenly tend to frown. Why is that? We need to accept those things as well. So body positivity comes about encompassing whatever you are, whatever background you're coming from, accepting it the way it is.
Definitely, ma'am. I completely agree to what you've said, especially about the filters on Instagram. The same, it was the same situation with me. And I was a little hesitant. Wait, should I add a filter on? Will I look better that way? Will I be adjusting to the societal norms? There are so many other things. So, absolutely, ma'am. I completely agree. So, ma'am, let's move on to the question session now. So,
Okay.
the first question is, what are your personal thoughts on body image?
Yeah. So body image again, once again, it starts with the concept of body positivity. You need to kind of understand what is your genetic makeup. So if your parents, tend to have a particular frame, that's the frame you are. You are going to be a mix of your mom and dad. So you need to kind of accept the body image the way it is. It is a state of mental and emotional acceptance of who you are. Okay. uh, Today I cannot expect to look like a particular actor or somebody else, a friend who I admire, because I am made the way I am. My hair, yes, I can straighten my hair, right? But at the end of the day, I need to accept the way they are, because they're going to grow back into being curly hair. So body image is whole about, the whole concept is trying to understand what you are, trying to understand what shapes you're made up of, and being okay with it. You know.
Definitely, ma'am. Let's move on to the second question. What is this whole size zero concept, and how do actors and celebrities, sort of influence this image?
Yeah. So size zero is a concept that's, funnily enough, started when I was in college, and when this particular movie that came out, and a particular actor kind of made it, she made it popular. Okay. Little to say that the you know, kind of effort that she had to go through in order to be in that norm of size zero uh, was tremendous. And nobody has seen that. We've seen the image, we've seen the publicity that the film and the actor got from that size zero. Probably it did a lot of harm to her than benefit. Of course, she must have earned a lot of money, but she might have lost a lot of health benefits. Now, if you go back a little, size zero is something that is found in clothing, because it was a necessity based on the way the clothing industry grew. But when it comes to human beings, and trying to fit into a size zero, which is a particular size of your particular shape, is something that is not possible for everybody. Okay, so a particular structure. So size zero is a concept that is absolutely unhealthy, and that's something that we should not strive to achieve at any given point. So as adolescents, I'm glad that that's size zero has gone behind, and people are now more into muscle building and those kind of things. So I see a lot of youngsters talk about protein, and that kind of really excites me, because they're talking about good healthier habits and not about size zero anymore. Yeah.
Definitely, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So, how has social media, society, and beauty material affected the concept of body positivity of adolescents?
So, like I said, body positivity is something that comes with accepting the way you are. Okay. Now, when you're looking at society, as Indians, again, I go back to kind of the way traditionally we are made up. If you meet somebody, the first comment that you will make, "Oh, you look so pretty," or "Have you put on some weight? I'm meeting you after a long time and you look great. You've lost some weight." So we always comment on the appearance of a person. Okay, that's the way we Indians are made to. That's the way. That's food, and talking about appearances is something that is innately built up in the Indian psyche as such. So when you talk about the way the beauty industry works, a lot is changing in the industry as well. Back in the day, there were certain brands which would use words like fair, or they would use words like lightning, which kind of pushed women particularly, or girls, young girls, to believe that lighter skin color is the only way to go. Okay, when you talk about body positivity, it's not just the shape. Being comfortable with the way your skin color is, or being comfortable with the flaws that it has. I have a burnt mark here on my hand, which I recently got, on my daughter's birthday. Okay, although that mark doesn't look very appealing. Okay, but every time I look at it, it reminds me of the day that of my daughter's birthday, and when I baked the cake, and that is when I got this scar. So being accepting of whatever is it, if it's pimples or if it's scars, accepting those and moving on is very important. So today we see brands changing quite a lot. They've changed right from changing the entire marketing strategy to changing brand names. Unfortunately, the industry is also moving towards targeting men and boys as well. You see them having a lot of, you know, these fairness uh, creams or scrubs, etc., in the market as well. So that's where the industry is kind of headed to now. So it's no longer a problem that we girls or women have to be, you know, worried about. It's the men that they're going after now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I agree completely. Okay, ma'am. So, do you think that body positivity helps adolescents to gain confidence and work freely in the society?
It definitely does, because body positivity comes with confidence that you're going to have. Okay, so when I say confidence about being comfortable within your own skin. Okay, I don't mean body positivity doesn't mean that you can maybe wear a crumpled shirt for an interview, or wear slippers to an interview. No, that's not what I mean. You need to be confident within your own skin, within your own hair, and the way you are. Okay, it's very important to dress the part sometimes. Okay, but having said that, there's so many examples of successful people. You talk about Mark Zuckerberg, or there are so many media personnel here in India as well. They wear the exact same clothing every single day of their life. It's the same t-shirt. I mean, it's not obviously the same t-shirt. They're wearing only black t-shirts throughout. Okay, nobody is judging them for that. Whereas we, on the other hand, tend to be, "Oh, mama, I want to have, XYZ brand ka blazer because I have an interview. And if I don't have that blazer, I will not be able to crack that interview." That's not something that, we should be kind of really relying on. Be confident in whatever you are. Ensure that the skills that you require for the job are there. You've already, got that, and be confident. That's something that's very important. And then no matter what you wear, of course, I would not expect you to go in Bermuda shorts to an interview, but be confident in whatever you're wearing, and go for the interview, and you should be able to achieve success in your whatever field you choose to be
Yes, ma'am. Preach all the way. I love this. Okay, ma'am. So, do you think that adolescents face rejection or abuse due to their changing body structure?
in. Yeah. So that's something that, as adolescents, they need to be accepting of. Now, today, at a very young age, right from when the baby is, in the pram itself, she's introduced to a mobile phone where then she would see some certain songs, or there is a lot of TV that is watched at a very young age. So we are used to seeing slender bodies on the screen, or we are used to seeing people all made up with makeup. Okay, and it's kind of a disconnect for them to see, oh, this is something that I see on the screen, and here is mama with a bun on top, and she's not all dressed up. So why is it different? So they tend to kind of, as adolescents, they tend to pursue that, okay, I need to look a certain way. And then there's so many social media influencers today on Instagram. And like I said, a lot of them are using filters. They're using the right kind of light. There's so many of them who have 5 lights on them when they're going online. When you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you don't have those lights on. You've not put on your makeup. And you don't need to put on your makeup. You need to be comfortable in your own skin. Just the other day, I was talking to a friend and I told her that, this pandemic has kind of really kind of removed the need for makeup from this world away. When I go to work, I feel like putting on a lipstick, not because someone else is going to look at it and say, oh, you're looking nice. I feel nice when I put on lipstick. So it's not a necessity for me to go out in lipstick, but when I put it on. So even with the mask on, I have my lipstick on, and there I am, because it kind of makes a difference to the way I feel from inside. Okay, so as adolescents, they also need to kind of ensure that they don't give in to the normative standards. Your body is going to change based on the physiological changes that are going to occur in your body, and you're only going to be stronger. I often say that adolescent period is a time, or young adults is a time where you have the greatest tool of the world. You have the best BMR in the world. No matter what you eat, you have the right tool to make lead a very healthy life. So this is the time you should be eating healthy, nutritious meals, and not munching a lot on the junk food. So when we see college girls, we see that they will carry just a banana or drink just a glass of milk, and that's not going to be sufficient for them to sustain the 6 hours of lectures, and then they are eating a sandwich at a roadside, or a safe puri at a roadside. So as you educated young adults, you need to ensure that you're eating healthy food. And this is the right time to ensure that you doesn't matter what shape you take in later, but it's important that you're making your body in the healthiest possible way.
So true, ma'am. Yes. Time to change my thinking as well. Okay, ma'am. So, could you comment on the changing societal standards of beauty and slenderness as we spoke before?
Yeah. So like I said, a lot is changing. A lot of these television brands are changing into the right direction. They're removing these discriminatory words from their marketing strategies, and we also need to kind of ensure that we do not conform to these societal norms. Okay, when you're around people around you, it's going to happen only if the change is brought in by every single person. So everybody needs to start in their own small way. When we meet somebody, don't talk about looks, don't talk about if they've put on weight or lost weight, don't talk about appearances. Instead, talk about how well they are. Okay, or talk about the health aspect of it. It's important for us to kind of propagate that. Even today, people say, oh, if you are somebody who, let's say for example, um, is into sports, you like to swim or you like to play football, okay, you should be okay going out in the sun or going to the pool and getting that tan that you are going to get because of being out in the sun. At the end of the day, you're going to that's the only years that you're going to get to play that kind of sport out in the sun. Okay, so just because society says that okay, you should not get tan, don't refrain from going out in the sun. Yes, Indians are deficient in vitamin D also, because we don't like going out in the sun. There are certain parts of the world, parts of India, where they wear entire clothing. They cover everything and they don't want to be out in the sun. Why? Be comfortable, and as long as it's going to give you the joy of being out, be there and do what you need to do. Be um, absolutely comfortable in whatever it is that you think that you want to achieve in life. And nobody at any point, be it ads or be it your friends or families or anybody, nobody can tell you that you can't achieve this. Okay, if you put in the effort, it might be difficult for some of us, but yes, you are going to get where you want to get at the end of the day, right? That's
Yes,
something very
100% agree. Yes, ma'am. So, adolescents have recently stopped eating, over exercising, and even have got surgeries at a very young age. What are your suggestions to this cohort?
yeah. So I think this cohort is like the entire population of adolescents. I see a lot of adolescents when we do talks come up and they ask about specific diets, ketogenic diet, or they ask about Atkins diet or intermittent fasting. So at a very young age, like I rightly said, this is the time that you have the best tool in your hand. You have the best BMR that you will ever have in your entire life. And this is the time you should enjoy food. You should eat food in its right form. So try and eat traditional meals. A lot of adolescents today don't know what certain vegetables are. Try and eat variety of vegetables. Go to the market if it's something that you've not eaten. Don't restrict yourself to bindi and aloo. Eat a variety of vegetables. Eat a variety of foods. That's something that's very important as adolescents for you to make the best of it. And you need to ensure that you do not really conform to these certain things that okay, I can only eat junk food at this point, or I can only eat this. That's something that you need to kind of refrain from doing. If you eat right, you're going to prevent yourself from getting metabolic conditions at the end of 5 or 6 decades of your life. So this is the healthiest you can be at any given point, and with little exercise, little effort, you're going to be able to achieve. Over exercising is something that I see a lot. Unless your job demands you to have six packs, at the end of this month, you don't need to really do that aggressively. Even if you do sustained, every day, 45 minutes to an hour of exercise, that's going to get you to your, health goal. If you're going to eat healthy, a lot of colleges are going to start. A lot of you don't carry your meals to college. You carry just a fruit or, a simple roti sabzi that you used to eat in, school. Try and take that even to your college. That's going to go a long way in ensuring that you have healthy life. Do not overdo anything. Moderation is the key. You need to ensure that you are not going in restrictive diets, you know, be it intermittent fasting. I'm not against those diets. Those diets are required where they are, but that's not something that adolescents should adopt. They should eat healthily and heartily. Yeah.
Noted, ma'am. Noted. Okay, ma'am. So, is it wrong for me to want to look as beautiful as an actor or an actress?
You tell me, is it wrong?
I don't think so, but
Everybody wants to look beautiful, right? Everybody wants to look presentable. So there's nothing wrong with it by wanting to look beautiful. But wanting to look like somebody, maybe that's not something that we should kind of get at. Okay? You are your own unique self. Okay? You might look a little like your mom or your dad, but you're still your unique self. And you need to kind of carve your own identity into this world. Trying to be like try some aspirations that you need to have. Okay, I want to be like Bill Gates, or I want to be like XYZ, or maybe Sundar Pichai, or I want to be like Kalpana Chawla. That's an aspiration you should have as an adolescent. I want to look like Kalpana Chawla. That's not something that you should aspire to be. Okay, because looks is something that's not going to be important. Everybody is going to have wrinkles. Everybody is going to have white hair someday or the other, right? So looks should not be given so much of an importance that we do, and especially when you're scrolling down on social media and on something like Instagram, which has so many filters, which I have just noticed today, and it can actually change you entirely. They can make you look slender, they can make you look a different skin color, different, so it's important for you to not bow down to these artificial standards of beauty. You are beautiful the way you are, and aspire to be someone who does great work, whatever it is you choose. Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, we've come to a final question from our side, which is, what would you say is the best way to go about conveying to students about body positivity and how they should embrace the changes?
Yeah. So as adolescents, first be accepting of whatever you are. Okay, be accepting of your skin color, be accepting of your body shape, accept the accents, the way you're going to speak, the way you're going to be around people. Okay, you will have certain mannerisms and you should be comfortable with it. Okay, what you need to kind of work on, so accepting the best, the beautiful you, as well as the flaws that you're going to have. Whatever are the flaws that you feel are the flaws, not necessarily the world looks at you in the same way. The world is going to, if you are confident, if you are if you're confident within your own skin, the world is going to look at you as a confident individual, and that's something that you need to strive to achieve in your life. Like I said, body positivity is about being comfortable mentally, physically, and emotionally within your own skin. Yeah.
Right, ma'am. So we have a question from one of the participants. I think it's Shama, ma'am. So
Yeah.
Shama, ma'am's question is whether you could comment a little bit more on skipping breakfast.
Yeah. So in spite of having so much exposure today, we yet a lot of college students, I was also teaching at Nirmala Niketan, and we would see many girls just would feel lethargic at by the time the mid break came at 10 o'clock. So many of these adolescents feel that if they skip breakfast, they can remain thin for their life. Doesn't happen. If you're skipping breakfast, your BMR goes down. Okay, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and you should always leave your house after eating a healthy breakfast. When I say healthy breakfast, most of our Indian breakfasts are healthy, okay, but they are carb laden. So always try and include some kind of a protein rich food with it. So, for example, if you're eating idli, ensure that the idli is made with more of urad dal and less of rice, and you eat it with sambar. So that's going to give you the protein. Or eat an egg early morning. So that's going to keep you full for longer. You're going to feel energetic, and it's going to go a long way. Like I said, BMR is the best at this point in your life. Make the most of it, and it's going to ensure, I mean, the future of India actually is in your hands. If you eat a healthy breakfast, if you do not go into crash diets, if you exercise healthily, you guys are going to promise a healthier nation, in long run for India. So do it for, if not for yourself, do it for India. Do eat healthy, be healthy, and ensure that you are exercising on a regular basis. Now that your lectures are online, that's particularly more important. You can always move around with your phone, where the teacher is giving you lecture, just walk around in your room.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, another question is from Dr. Twinkle Sangvi. Her question is, protein shakes are advisable or not?
Yeah. So again, see, I always propagate that you need to have traditional healthy diets. Okay. If your diets do not fulfill the needs for protein, then you can always look at taking additional protein supplements, which is going to give you the additional protein that you require. If you go back, we are celebrating the National Nutrition Month today, and there is so many indigenous Indian traditional meals that give you a perfect combination of cereal and pulse. Okay, idli is one of the examples. Dosa is one of the examples. The Maharashtrian amtis is an example. Okay, or even simple thing like aloo vadi. It will have good amount of protein and in fact gram flour added in the stuffing that's put into the aloo vadi. So it's important that you first try and get protein through your dietary sources. And if your the physical state requires, so if you're exercising, if you're into weight training and you require additional protein which cannot be met through dietary sources, then by all means go for a protein supplement. But don't replace your meals with a supplement. That's something that you should not aim as adolescents.
Right, ma'am. Okay, so I think we're done with the questions. Yes. So, awesome. So now that we have done our Q&A from our side as well as the audience, I would like to thank you, Ms. Sukhada Bhatte, on the behalf of the Food and Nutrition Department of Maniben Nanavati Women's College for this very deep and insightful session on body positivity. So sorry, ma'am, to stop here, but I think we have one more question. How to deal with body dysmorphic disorder in adolescents?
So that's a condition which requires you to get into psychological evaluation, and there should be a proper evaluation done by a trained psychologist. Okay, It's important that if there's somebody who is kind of suffering from this, you should seek help with a trained counselor. Okay, don't just rely on taking care of it by yourself or with the help of family members. You need to look at going to a trained counselor for that. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with seeking help. um, we all of us feel insecure by looking at what we see on paper or on the screen, but we need to understand what goes behind into making those pictures. A lot of it is photoshopped, you know. So that's something that we need to kind of be comfortable with understanding, right?
Yes, ma'am. So I think we're done with today's session. So thank you so very much, ma'am, again.
Thank you so much. There's
Oh,
one
ma'am,
question.
yeah,
Yeah,
two more
my
questions. One by, okay. Um,
vegetarians do not eat meat, and what should they eat for more protein? Okay. Now, there are a lot of vegetarian protein sources also traditionally present. We have your beans, your pulses, milk and milk products, which are going to give you a good amount of protein. And combining them with rice or combining them with the cereal sources is going to give you a perfect balance of amino acids that your body require. Okay, so it's not like vegetarians cannot get enough protein. um, Through our pulses, legumes that we have traditionally that we've been consuming, we get sufficient amount of protein. If there's somebody who has increased protein requirement, seek help from a trained or registered dietitian who can help you work around your own meals and how to increase your protein intake. We often take a lot of rice, a lot of chapatis, and there's a small portion of that. That's another thing that I see in adolescents. When I would do this exercise every year during nutrition month. I would make my students open their tiffin in the class, okay, and they would have like a tiffin which had like 3-4 chapatis and a small portion of sabzi. So as Indians, we eat very little protein, very little, no matter whether you're vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Even non-vegetarians do not eat so much meat. Okay, what you need to ensure that whatever is the protein source, whether it's pulses, dals, curd, you're having a good portion of the pulse in your diet. Okay, and if you're eating vegetables, a good portion of the vegetable as well. Okay, so if you're eating a thali, like a vegetable, protein, a salad, and then the last fourth section should be your rice or roti. That's something that we need to kind of work on. So vegetarians again don't need to worry about the protein sources. Rita has
ma'am, Rita ma'am's question is, please comment on schoolgirls insisting on looking like adolescents.
yeah. So that's something comes from early exposure to social media and different like you know YouTube videos, etc. So a lot of, again, that they need to be counseled through their parents, through teachers, and counselors that are present in the school and college. It's important that you look your own age. There is going to be plenty of time for you to look like an adult, right? And once you become an adult, you would want the clock to go back and you would want to look like a schoolgirl again. So it's important that you be your age, enjoy it to the most of it, and you will reach there when you are of that particular age. So yeah.
Ma'am, another question. Is creatine monohydrate a safe supplement to use while working out?
So if you ask me about safety wise, yes, it is proven to be safe. But however, the way it's taken, it's important that it's taken under the guidance of a dietitian. That's something that's very important because it can lead to a lot of dehydration in the body. So it's important that creatine monohydrate is taken through proper guidance, depending on the kind of exercise that you're doing, and then get prescribed it. Because not everybody needs a creatine hydrate, monohydrate, right? Just like protein supplements. So if your workout demands that, if let's say for example are looking for six pack abs, then that's something that can be recommended to you. Not everybody would need. So as adolescents, one thing that I missed out is that adolescents, when you're looking at your own self or body image, if you ever get a chance to do your body composition analysis, it will tell you how much your body has in terms of fat, water, and muscle mass. Whatever way, try and work on your muscle mass. So try and increase your muscle mass and reduce your body fat percentage. That's going to happen only with healthy eating, good amount of protein in your diets, and good exercise. Okay. Once you past a certain age, you cannot build on your bones, you cannot build up on your muscles. So it's important that you work on it, make the use of the best tool that you have, like I said, BMR at this particular age. Yeah.
So, ma'am, we have our audience thanking you, and I thank you again for this very, very, very insightful session. It was really nice, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having me, and I'm glad that I was opening batsman for such a wonderful initiative that your students have. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So,
Thank you.
ciao
Bye
to
bye.
everyone, and I'll be signing off from Nutri Jockey. Once again, I'm Keyosha Anchan. Have a very good evening. Bye bye.